Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Shruti Sharma.
Hi, my name is Krishnan. Today I'll be doing the Hindu news analysis. These are the 5 topics that we'll be seeing today. Let us go to the first topic. So you might have heard there's a new scheme called PM Mitra, which will be focusing on textiles and apparels. So let us see what this article is about. So what this scheme is going to do is it is going to streamline the textile value chain into one ecosystem. So if you go to traditional areas where they do textile manufacturing, what they'll do is spinning they'll do separately, weaving, dyeing, printing, all these things they'll do separately. But what PM Mitra scheme is intending to do is it will bring all these things together. So what is expected out of this scheme? 70,000 crore worth investments and 20 lakh jobs will be generated. So right now the first phase has started. So what will happen is they'll have large textile parks spread across at least 1,000 acres. So this will come up in 7 states which are already very strong in textile industry like Tamil Nadu. So right now they have started this in Tamil Nadu. So the first PM Mitra park will come in Tamil Nadu. So what this park will have? This park will have the entire textile value chain, right from the fiber to fabric to garments. Everything can be made in the park itself, this textile park. And they are using the term plug and play. What is plug and play? So plug and play means the park will be ready to use. You just have to go inside and start, and just to plug all your devices, and then you can just start working. So this is called plug and play, which means the park will be ready. You just have to go there and start working. So let us see the budget outlay and what the state and center has to do. So the central government budget is 4,045 crore. In that 55% of the equity shareholding will be the state governments. So for each park, so 100% will be the equity, right? So 50 majority shareholder will be state government and 49% will be held by the center. Next, what is the role of state government? They should give land. So 1,000 acres is needed, right? So state government should give land, and other the environment clearances, fire clearances, all those clearances state government should give. What is the central government has done? Central government has given something called as Development Capital Fund for 5,000 crores in 2 tranches. That is 2 times they will give 250 crores like that they'll give. And they have given something called as competitive incentive support of rupees 300 crores for each manufacturing unit in the park. So already we have a lot of schemes, right, with respect to textiles. So how this PM Mitra scheme is different from other schemes? Because see, this PM Mitra scheme, it focuses on large scale production, and there is provision of plug and play. So what is plug and play? We saw, right? So PM Mitra will have this plug and play thing in it. Next, how it is different? They can do FDI, foreign companies can invest here. So we already saw this will be opened in states that are already strong in textile sector. So what are the modern facilities that the parks will have? They will have treatment plants, because you see textiles, they have threads, right? So they leave a lot of harmful toxic effluents. So you cannot just directly leave those effluents in the river or some other water body. You will have to treat them before you let them go. So those things are taken care of. Accommodation for workers inside the park itself, skill training centers for people who are non-skilled and semi-skilled. They'll have skill training centers. They'll have warehouses where you can store stuff, and it can be scaled up also. You can start it as a small unit and you can make it as a big unit. And all these integrated manufacturing facilities will be in one location itself. So see, this is a big scheme, right? What will happen to MSMEs? See, MSMEs play a huge role. 80% of the control of textiles and apparels is done in MSMEs only. But what experts are telling, experts have mixed feelings about the impact of huge investments, because huge investments, and if a lot of outside foreign players come, some experts feel MSMEs will be affected. So what are the other challenges for this PM Mitra scheme, geopolitical situation, because generally textiles are exported from the country, right? So Ukraine-Russian war, all these things are going on. This will be a problem for exporting and competition from China. See, in China they have very competitive pricing and things like that, right? And their manufacturing sector is very strong. So there is competition from China. So what people who are ordering, what they are doing is they are going to supply with competitive prices. If India is quoting, some company is quoting 10 rupees, if another company is quoting 9 rupees, they'll go to that person only. No? So India is losing out there. And sustainable manufacturing process, because the customers, the end users, they are becoming environmentally very conscious, right? So what those customers want is they want sustainable manufacturing practice. That is, they want to make sure that the product that they are using is made out of green technology, environment friendly technology. So they want to make sure that. So manufacture with vertically integrated facilities are advantage than smaller ones. See, only bigger ones can have this, right? From getting a yarn to printing the final garment. This is the vertically integrated facility. You should have a factory like that, then only you can be price competitive. So they're asking, can this PM Mitra scheme lead to boost in exports? So what has happened in the textile and clothing sector is it has been stagnating at the $40 billion mark. So it is not growing at all. So, but what is the government's aim? It is aiming 100 billion in exports and $250 billion in domestic business by 2030. So, this scheme will augment the export potential. So, this will help the textile sector to grow and it will help them to export more stuff. So, where India exports in the textile industry, it's mostly yarn, bed sheets, towels, t-shirts, and denim fabric. So, if you expand the fiber and production line, you can increase the global share by 5%. So this is a huge leap, right? So PM Mitra will be focusing here. So what are the other things that you can do to export your product? You can come up with competitive pricing. So with large scale factories in the PM Mitra scheme, you can really become price competitive. And this is important, sustainability and traceability. So end users, customers want to know where this product came from. Did this product come by cutting down forest, or does this product use excessive lead to excessive CO2 emissions? So all these things customers want to know. So international buyers, Western buyers are focusing on these things. So in PM Mitra scheme, what they are telling, it should give thrust to pollution control. So we need devices that will aid pollution control, but at the same time they should be cheaper. Then only we can come up with price competitive products. So all these things are looked into in the PM Mitra scheme. So finally, what they are telling, this is a case study. So they are telling, look at countries like Turkey. They have integrated textile parks. That is from the lowest of thing to the finished product, start product to finished product. Everything they can do in that park itself. That is the integrated textile park. But for people inside the textile industry, what they are looking for is they are looking for production linked incentive and PM Mitra to be combined. So what is production linked incentive? So what they'll do is, if you produce certain amount of product and if you export certain amount of product, you will get some incentive. So what people in the textile industry want is they want these two things to be combined. But what the government has said is PM Mitra only for people who have not used production linked incentive. So what the government should do now is, there are a lot of MSMEs, right? They should not fear that they will be washed away by the huge investments. They're telling you also do small investment, get a place in the PM Mitra park and try to scale up, or else you will miss the opportunity to become a prime destination for textile production and exports. So you're telling MSME should not get worried. You do all this small investment and you try to scale up, or you will miss the bus. You will miss the opportunity. Like that, this article is arguing. Let us move on to the next topic. This topic is about Johnson and Johnson's attempt to get patent rights over its drug Beroquelin. It already has patent rights over it, but what they try to do is they try to extend their patent over it. So let's see what they try to do and how the Indian patent authorities rejected their claims. So why did they seek to do this? Because they wanted to have monopoly of manufacturing this bedoquilin in India. So this was supposed to expire on July. So they sought to extend their patent rights over it, but it was denied. So this will pave way for other generic drug manufacturers to produce it. So this will become cheap because this will reduce the drugs cost by 80%. 80% of its cost will come down. So cheap means it will have wider access, right? So earlier, this is a 6-month treatment course. This was priced at $400. So this will cost around 35,000 rupees. But what will happen now? 80% of the cost will come down. So what is this bedaquiline? It is a crucial drug in the treatment of multi-drug resistant TB. So TB in the initial stage, you can treat it with simpler drugs like rifampicin, isocyanate, and things like that. But if it becomes resistant, you should use bedaquiline. So this is actually a very powerful drug. So why this becomes very significant for India? Because 1/4 of world's burden of multi-drug resistant TB and extensively drug resistant TB (XTBR), all these are present in India only. So why we want this bedaquiline is multi-drug resistant TB. It resists treatment of there are other TB drugs. That is, we already saw, right, isoniazid and rifampicin. So these two are the widely used drugs, but multi-drug resistant TB resists these two drugs, and extensively drug resistant TB, it resists fluoroquinolines, and they also resist drug. So for these cases, you can use only bedaquiline. So what has happened? This becomes very significant for India because there are 1,24,000 cases of multi-drug resistant TB in India and 2,650 cases of extensively drug resistant cases in India. So for all these cases, you can use bedaquiline only. So now, first of all, we should see how TB becomes drug resistant. Deviations from drug compliance. So they'll tell you will have to take medicines for 6 months, but if you stop in the middle, the bacteria becomes resistant. So why would patients stop taking medicines? Because while you take the drug, there will be a lot of side effects. So patients will feel the pain and they'll stop taking the drug, but the bacteria will become resistant and and the TB will become much more serious. So in that case, bedaquiline was used. So how effective is bedaquiline? Because it is used in very serious cases, right? So it is a 6 months course. So higher dose in first 2 weeks and lower dosage for the remaining 22 weeks. So this is very short period compared to other drugs. There are certain treatments which will take even 120 weeks like that. So this is a shorter treatment period. So but other drugs also, they are quite they can have serious side effects like hearing loss. Like if you keep taking it, you'll have a hearing loss. Bedaquiline is sought after because it is less harmful than others. But even though it is less harmful, it can cause heart and liver damage in certain cases. So bedaquiline also is quite powerful only. So it is a last resort, means it is used in the last case. If no other drugs are working, then only in the last stage only you use bedaquiline. So but what happened is this bedaquiline, this the testing phase, experiment phase was not fully completed. Before that itself, they started using bedaquiline. So this led to a debate. See, this is a low standard tested drug, but patients are also desperate. So where will you focus? So will you give a drug that is not much tested, or will you focus on the desperate needs of the drug? But anyways, desperate need of the patient. So anyways, the desperate needs of the patient was looked into, and with low standards, this bedaquiline was started being used. So what happened? What did Johnson and Johnson try to do? They tried to do evergreening. So what is evergreening? It is the strategy to expand the life of patents. So with small innovations, they'll not be genuine innovations also. They'll tell we found something new, like that they'll tell, and they'll tell there was a new application, so we only found this, like that they'll tell, and they'll extend the monopoly of producing it. So what will happen? They can get a lot of revenues through it. So this was done in this case. Evergreening was done. So Indian laws do not allow evergreening. So they had a case, and people filed a case over it, and Johnson and Johnson lost this case. So how was this evergreening sought? So Johnson and Johnson said they had invented a they had invented a method of making a derivative of quinoline in its salt form. But what the assistant control of patents and design said, this is a very obvious invention. This is not a this is a known art, like everybody in the field knows it. This is not innovation, like that she said, and she rejected this patent claim. So next, what happened is, so Section 3D of Patent Act says salt forms and derivatives of known substances are not patentable. So this is what the J&J tried to do, and they were their claim was rejected. So why this becomes very important is, only 10,000 people benefit from bedaquiline as of now. So with this rejection of with the claims rejection of Indian patent controller, what will happen? This number will increase to 55,000 because 80% the price has come down, right? So that those things have happened. But what will happen is, however, still Johnson and Johnson has a patent rights for bedaquiline in many countries. Even in countries in Africa like South Africa, they still have it, which means Indian drug manufacturers cannot export this drug. But as of now in India, patients can use bedaquiline. Generic drug manufacturers can manufacture it. So this is what this article is about. So let us move on to the next topic. This topic is about railway bridge that is on the stage of completion in Kashmir. So let us see about this. So this is India's first cable-stayed rail bridge. So this is actually not the entire structure. It is part of a 326-kilometer rail line connecting Udhampur to Baramulla via Srinagar. So this cable-stayed rail bridge is a part of this entire railway line. So why is this significant? Because this this rail line will connect Kashmir Valley and the rest of India. So this is very significant, right? So this is a 400 crore project. So this is almost being completed. So why? Because the last stages are the tuning the cable, deck casting, and linking of railway tracks. These are all the last stages, and they'll be done in some time. So let us see more about it. It is present over the Anichkad River. So why this becomes significant is, every monsoon what will happen, the river will swell, right? So it becomes very difficult for people who are constructing it. So this is supported by a single pylon. So this is how the structure is. So this single pylon you can see here, right? So this is the tower like single pylon. So they are using that method to construct this bridge. So this is 1086 feet above the riverbed, which is equal to a height of a 77-story building. So if a building has 77 floors, how huge it will be? Like that, this bridge is going to be. So at one end, it will look very picturesque because it has mountain peaks on both the sides, and a lot of gusty winds will come. But it will become very difficult when you are building a bridge over it. So see, this bridge is an engineering marvel because you see the bridge can sustain 216 kilometers per hour winds blowing. So you can see, right, you might have read about valley breeze, mountain breeze and things like that. In areas like this, there will be very strong winds. So this bridge can sustain winds blowing up to 216 kph. So that's a huge feat, right? So but even though it can sustain 216 kph, what happened during construction time, if the wind crosses 45 kph, it became very difficult for the construction workers to build the bridge. In fact, one worker even died while doing the slope survey. So this construction was very difficult. So this is a single broad gauge track. So it connects Jammu to Baramulla via Srinagar. So project was executed by Konkan Railway Corporation. But why Konkan Railway? This is the north only, right? But why Konkan Railway did this construction is because they have previous experience of doing the largest railway project of Asia. What it is the Konkan Railways. So you might have heard about Metro Man E. Sridharan, right? So he was involved in that project. What they did in this Konkan Railway project is, they cut Western Ghats. They built 96 tunnels and built a 756-kilometer railway line, that too in a very short span of time. So cutting Western Ghats and doing all these things was very difficult, but they did it in a very short span of time, and they executed it very successfully. So that is why Konkan Railway was involved in this project. So, but more than Western Ghats, see this Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla is much more difficult because you see there is climatic issues, And this Himalayas, it's a very treacherous nature, this terrain is, so this is much more difficult. So, and you see construction going on in an area which is politically and environmentally challenging, because this bridge is near the border area, Suchetgarh, and the project was stopped for some time due to Pulwama attack. So while they did the tunneling, what happened? Methane gas and all started coming out, which harm the surrounding villages. So, and sand mining is also illegal in the region. It is banned in the region. So sourcing of raw materials also became very difficult. So, and what happened? Weather challenges also there. What will happen in winter? You just cannot stand also in that place. So in winter, work was not going on at all. So all these people braved all the environmental and political challenges, and they achieved this huge engineering feat. So this is a matter of pride. So let us move on to the next topic. This topic is about MSMEs. So what has happened is recently experts have been telling that MSMEs are stagnating. But what finance ministry is telling us, no, see, we will give you the data. You see, MSMEs are not stagnating. So what ministry is telling, see, small MSMEs are evolving into bigger ones. Like micro units are becoming smaller, smaller ones are becoming medium. Like that, they're evolving into bigger ones. So see, they have given the data, micro units from 28,000 they have become 65,000 small units. From micro to small, they have 28,000 to 65,000 small units are there now. So what they are trying to tell is, this shows MSMEs are not suffering. There is not inertial of risk and refusing to be upwardly mobile. No, MSMEs are not refusing to be upwardly mobile. What is refusing to be upwardly mobile? Upwardly mobile is from a smaller stage. If you go to bigger stage, it is upwardly mobile. So micros are becoming small, small is becoming medium. So this upwardly mobile is there in MSMEs, like that ministry officials are telling. And they are giving a lot of other data also. So the small units also are becoming medium, which has gone up by 75%. So they're telling, see, all these things point to the fact that there is no stagnation in MSME industry, like that they're telling. So let us see about MSME. MSMEs are very important in India because they are the largest employers. So MSMEs, you see, 26.8%, their contribution to GVA is 26.8%. And this is overall. In the manufacturing sector alone, they contribute close to 38%. And most, these are all quantitative things, but qualitatively you see they produce entrepreneurs. So from local areas, from rural areas, from backward regions, they come up with entrepreneurs. So this is the most important aspect of MSMEs. So what the ministry officials are telling, say there is upwardly mobility in manufacturing and trading units. You can see a lot of such things. So why manufacturing becomes important? Because they can employ non-skilled and semi-skilled people. So which means the employment generating potential is very high in the manufacturing sector. So here also 53% units graduated from micro to small. So ministry officials are telling these are good signs for MSMEs, but industry insiders, what they are telling, no, we cannot rely on these numbers, because we did a survey and found out that 72% of MSMEs had stagnated over the last 5 years. So last 5 years, a lot of activities for MSMEs were not good. Lot of individual MSMEs suffered a lot. They are stagnating, like the industry insiders are telling, and they're telling you cannot rely much on Udayam portal. So government is relying on Udayam portal data, but what industry insiders are telling, no, don't rely much on Udayam portal, because in our country close to 6.5 crore MSMEs are there, but only 1.5 crore, that is 20% of these MSME units are registered in Udayam portal. So they're telling don't rely on Udayam portal. So let us see about Udayam portal. It was launched in July 2020. What MSMEs can do is they can register themselves in it. So with this, they can pay GST and income tax both, and the portal will capture both these data. So using this data, Udayam portal is classifying MSME, but experts are telling you can't really rely on Udayam portal. So one thing that you should know about MSMEs is how they are classified. So earlier they were classified using investment in plant and machinery. So earlier this was the criteria, but now they have changed it to investment and annual turnover. So based on investment and annual turnover, your MSME will be either identified as a micro, small, or medium. So if the investment is less than 1 crore and the turnover is less than 5 crore, it is micro. Similarly, 10 to 50 crore small, and 20 to 100 is medium. So this is what this article is about. So let us move on to the next topic. So what has happened is Home Minister has given a speech in the 84th Rising Day in Bastar district, which is in Jharkhand. This is a severely Maoist affected district, but now things have changed there. So what Home Minister is saying, this itself is a sign of change. You see, earlier this was not possible, but we are able to do these things from Bastar. So the major part of this credit is giving to CRPF. So CRPF only is manning all this Maoist infected areas. So they have done a good job, and they have sacrificed their lives also. They have done great sacrifices, and they have been martyred in all these things. So he's praising CRPF because it is CRPF's 84th Racing Day. He went there to speak about CRPF's contribution. He's made very important statement. He's saying left-wing extremism in final stages of the country. And next he's praising CRPF, telling CRPF not only flushed out left-wing extremism, that is, they not only just curtailed all this Maoists and Naxals, but they helped tribal development also. So tribals education, all those things, they played a very important role. So that is telling. And he's telling, see, extremists not just targeted CRPF, they were creating problems by whenever there was construction of schools, road, hospitals, ration shops, installation of mobile towers. What this Maoists and Naxals did, they came and here, destructed everything. They'll dug the roads, they'll bomb the schools. They were doing all those things. But now CRPF, along with local police, they showed exceptional organization skills and joint operation capabilities, and they have curtailed left-wing extremism. So he's praising CRPF. Using this joint operational capabilities, what they did, they stopped interstate movement of Naxal. So you see, this is the red corridor, this entire area. So they'll keep moving this from this Dandakaranya forest till Karnataka. They'll be moving in the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So because of this joint operational capabilities, they were able to stop the movement of Naxals. So what they did, they set up, first they had joint task forces, they set up joint camps, the two especially in tri-junction areas. So you see, these are all tri-junction areas, right? Here Maoist menace was very high. So here they had the Cobra Command, which is a elite force of the CRPF. So they were very active here, and Cobra used to eliminate all notorious Naxals. So this they were doing, and he said earlier there used to be security vacuum in Bihar and Jharkhand, but now you see we have CRPF has reduced everything. So he's giving data. He's telling incidents of left-wing extremism has gone down by 76% since 2010, and loss of personal and civilian lives also went down by 78%. So, and he's also praising National Investigation Agency and Enforcement Directorate, because he's telling because of their relentless pursuit only, funding that was given to Naxals from foreign countries was stopped. So without funds, they were not able to do much. So he's telling NIA and ED did all these things to stop these people. So he was giving credit to all these people. So let us go to previous year questions. So questions like this you can answer only if you understand the entire concept. So economically, one of the results of the British rule in India was increase in export of Indian handicraft. No, it went down. Growth in the number of Indian. No, this also went down. Commercialization of Indian agriculture. Yes. Rapid increase in urban population. No, this went down. Urban population went down, and urban areas and agriculture areas were overpopulated. So the right answer is commercialization of Indian agriculture. So people started growing plantation crops like jute, cotton, so on and so forth. So the right answer is C. So keep an eye for questions like this, and even if you see things like this in the current affairs, make a note of it. So Puthukuli shawls, are they from Tamil Nadu? Yes, they are made by tribals called Todas. So these are a very peculiar type of tribes in Tamil Nadu who are living in the Nilgiri region. So they make Puthukuli shawls. Sujini embroidery, they are from Bihar. So it is wrong. Uppada Jamdani is from Andhra Pradesh. So these two things are wrong. So the right answer is option A, one only. So the terms WannaCry, Petya, and Eternal Blue, often mentioned in news. What are they? These are very famous cyber attacks. So it was in the news continuously. So the answer is option C. So with reference to religious practices in India, Stanakwasi sect. So the Stanakwasi sect belongs to It belongs to Jainism. So whenever you're reading ancient Indian art and culture, kindly focus more on these two topics, that is Buddhism and Jainism. So a lot of questions will come from these areas. So that is all for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this presentation, you can comment, subscribe, and share it among your friends. You can follow us on YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram, Telegram, and Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again.